In the 90s, Game Boy and Game Gear was in big competition. I would like to call it was like more of like the smaller bit wars. Me, I didn't care. Both was awesome. But another handheld came into the mix coming from the arcade world. And that handheld was the Neo Geo Pocket. Look, I remember both Neo Geo Pocket and the Neo Geo Pocket Color. Now, times have passed. Now we can put all three of these consoles in one handheld. And when I look at the Anbernic 35xxH, it's like the 90s are back without the cost of three handhelds. You feel me? Let's get started. What is going on, you guys? Your boy Famous Kid Video Game Entertainment. And before we go any further, make sure you hit the like, subscribe button. Click like, subscribing. It's always a big help. Now, the struggle was real back then. I mean, for real. In order for you to get a screen to look that good, you got to be in some light. And now these handhelds, look how good they look, man. Now this right here, this is the 35xx, the original, not the plus or the other one. That's the original. And now I was really interested in getting the RG35xxH because I mostly am a big fan of the Game Boy Advance style. Now I want to let y'all know this is not a performance test video, so all those bigger consoles like 64, Dreamcast on up, I'm not going to be doing all that. My goal is to show y'all a point of view of opening it up like a simple way and just doing simple things, just playing some cool classics. You know, there are other breakdown videos out there on chipsets, you know, button types, battery life, all that good stuff out there on other videos. My goal is to show y'all just like, let's open this up. Let's, you know, see what it got on it, and let's maybe add some games or something and just, you know, and just have some fun. That's just what I'm all about, just having fun. I know how to do this stuff, but I'm having some fun. That's what makes me like, I love doing content because I just like just playing games. That's my biggest thing I like doing. As of right now, there's no new firmware for this device as of yet. Now, my original 35xx I'm using Garlic OS. So right now I like them both though. I have no complaints about them. You know, I mean, I'm cool with this stock firmware. I am. So on the top we have two C type, and on the bottom that you can insert two SD cards, which is pretty cool. On the side there's the power and there's the reset. So, and on the other side there is the volume. So, and it also has a headphone jack compared to the other one that has the HDMI out on just the top, and you have your two SD cards, which I have did a review on this particular device. So let's jump into it. With that HDMI at the top that you saw before, you can plug this up to a monitor, TV, stuff like that. But in this case, I'm going handheld because this thing is pretty small and it's perfect for the pocket, and that was basically what it's built for, but you do have the option. New feature for me is the vertical arcade selection. This is like my first time doing this, and they have what is called the Tate mode, to where that you can set your settings up to do it like this, to where you can actually play like vertical arcade for you to be able to take advantage of this big screen, of the full screen like this. And I'm like, wow, this is pretty awesome. This is my first time doing this because I don't know if you guys experienced it before using this, because it does have this up on the Evercade, and I have not used the Tate mode on the Evercade. Game Boy Advance, if you notice, some of the selections right here doesn't have like photos of it. It's only because I added those games. On this device, it does not have no Mario games whatsoever. I just want to let you know. It didn't even have Tetris. So I added a few of the games that was kind of missing. Also, it didn't have Chrono Trigger either. I haven't discovered like all the games that this thing was missing. You're able to add more games, which I'm very happy with, and you can actually just add it up on the same SD card. I didn't really put no new SD card or anything like that. I just enjoyed just adding a few games and just going from there. When it comes out with like maybe a new firmware, then I can go ahead and do all the scrapery stuff later on. Now, what came with mine, it came with a 64 gig card that it was basically just more than enough for me to put all these little small file games on here. I mean, unless that you want to go ahead and like put like entire rosters of games on here, then I to me 64 gigs is perfectly enough. I mean, over time I might just go ahead and maybe transfer all my games to maybe more of like a name brand SD card, but that's over time. Usually when I do handhelds, after a while I enjoy for what it is, and then I'll just go ahead and kind of tamper with it after a while. That's just me. You know, I like to enjoy the stock stuff. Now, if you get into the modding scene when it comes down to Anbernic, I feel that people does a lot to these devices, and it is amazing. I have talked to people and chatted with people that has used Anbernic for like their main consoles. They set up their controller with them, they plug them up to the TV to where that it's like their main console, to where all these consoles are built in it, where they have like they play movies and everything, have their music player. There's a lot of things that people have done with their Anbernic, and these devices can really like fly when it comes down, if you really get into that, you know. And if you did some things to your Anbernic to like with other devices, tell me which one that you have used and did other things to. Let me know. Now, drastic is definitely drastic for this tiny menu. I don't think that anybody, if y'all can see this 2020 vision thing, that's good. More power to you. But setting this thing up with this tiny menu is no joke. So after you get through and you want to say, to me, because I like a single screen, so that's up to you how you want to set it up. But there's other ways of getting around it. So you can actually push R2 and L2 to change the screen. So that way you can bypass the whole drastic menu that's drastic and play your games the way you want. So I'm gonna do my little setup right here so I can show you. And look, single screen, and if I want to change it, I just push the R2 or L2, and you just set your screen in the way you want to. That's up to you if you want to have it like double screen. If you want to, that's your choice. But me, I like this full single screen and just being able to switch it up the way I like it. Okay, now down to something that I love and I'm really happy. This is the reason why I got this, is the Neo Geo Pocket Color. Yes. Now I see people test out these things and with performances and stuff, they don't be testing out the simple stuff like this. And this is what I'm talking about. Games like Game Gear, consoles like Game Gear, or handhelds like Game Gear, and Neo Geo Pocket Color, Game Boy. I'm talking about good gaming like this, real handheld type of gaming that you can enjoy, that it just bringing back that 90s vibe. It's our whole point of just enjoying these handhelds, because we want to bring that back, not just for the old school audience, but for the new people that's coming in too and just checking this stuff out as well. But you know what? It's okay though, because you know what? At the same time, you come over here to my channel and kick it with your boy, and we're gonna be playing games like this, classics like this, bringing it back. I'm talking about all night long gaming, all day long gaming, wherever you're doing, traveling, good stuff like this. This is what I love. Your 80s childhood, activated. Your 90s childhood, activated. Your just back in the day, your memories of all these good handhelds, all wrapped up in a super nice device, activated. And there you have it. It doesn't matter what type of Anbernic you have. It doesn't matter what handheld you got. You know what? As long as we can wrap all these little consoles in one handheld, yo, that's ice. Yeah, for real. Bring it back. Let's all keep bringing this thing back. I'm out, yo. Thank you guys for chilling. If you made it this far, much appreciated. Okay? All right, you guys. From gamer to gamer, peace.